Ladies, time has expired. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Wisconsin, Mr. Tiffany, for 5 minutes.
Well, Mr. Chairman, one thing I'm really heartened about is the choice that my youngest daughter made to become an environmental engineer. It sounds like she has a bright future here, based on the testimony that that we heard earlier. Mr. Herget, would you agree that delay is death?
Absolutely.
Did the originators of NEPA, did they envision NEPA becoming what it is today?
Absolutely not. When Rachel Carson put NEPA together, the idea that it would be used as an obstruction tool to fight a proxy war on fossil fuels that has now backfired would never have been something that she had envisioned.
Yeah, I point to one of the products of NEPA is the chart right behind me. All you got to do is look at the blue line is fire, the green slashes are harvest on our national forest. And I believe the watershed year was 1988 when we reversed or when we stopped managing our forests on federal lands in the way that we should. And I would just say, Mr. Mergen, in regards to your comments, we're losing all this expertise. What I hear consistently back home is that all kinds of ologists are being hired over the last couple decades in federal forest management, and foresters are in a significant minority. So when you talk about not having the people, we do not have enough foresters anymore, and that has resulted in this: far more fire, far less fiber being produced here in America. And I'll put some numbers to it. We did something called the Forest Practices Study when I was in the state legislature and did a rigorous review of state forest management. But I extrapolated those numbers to the Chequamegon-Nicolet National Forest, which covers about 1.5 million acres in northern Wisconsin. And over the last 3 decades, the estimates that I came up with, while crude, I think they're fairly accurate, $250 million worth of value that have been left behind on the national forest. But what's also left behind were families. There are a number of sawmills that closed as a result of that. I've heard from Representative McClintock what's happened in the Sierras, where they've lost dozens, if not hundreds of mills over the last couple decades. Well, something similar, while not on the same scale, has happened in northern Wisconsin as a result of this preservationist attitude that you can see with this chart. Mr. Bowles, I'd like to ask you a question. Can you give me an example of a project that timelines are extended significantly for the American road and transportation builders? Do you have any examples where it's taken far longer than what it should to be able to build a project?
I don't have any personal examples where projects were hampered by the NEPA process, but in the written testimony, there are some of our members and some of my colleagues that have experienced that. I think some in a project in Arkansas, a project in Boston, and then cited one in Oregon where that delays have just extended the construction process to really beyond what anybody could imagine.
Does it end up extending it into decades, not just years?
I guess it doesn't extend, and I mean, it continues to extend until it's over.
So some of them are not over.
Correct.
Is that what you're saying? Mr. Campbell, is it true the grid has become more unstable over the last decade, the electrical grid here in the United States?
Yes, it has. Load growth is significant now, and we've closed a lot of our always available base load power plants.
Yeah, I'm just going to close with this, Mr. Chairman. I want to know how long. We just had that iconic lodge up on the north rim of the Grand Canyon burned down in the last couple of weeks as a result of fire that got away that it appears should not have gotten away, and I hope we have an oversight hearing in regards to that. I want to know how long it's going to take to rebuild that lodge. And any guesses, if we have to go through this extensive EIS process, how long it's going to take. And I will just close with asking unanimous consent, Mr. Chairman, to introduce a product here from the Breakthrough Foundation, the procedural hangover, how NEPA litigation obstructs critical projects. And they talk specifically about the Chico project in California. But I thought there was a very operative line in here. By delaying the project for years, Conservation Congress, and environmental outfit out of Canada, or Montana, likely did more damage to the natural habitat of the northern spotted owl than any amount of Forest Service intervention could have. I yield back.